See me all right. Um, you already know. To the center. I'm just kind of waiting to make some moves right now. But yo, I definitely just wanted to touch on a couple things real quick before I head up outside. You know what I mean? It's cold as shit outside. It's crazy how this weather's acting, ain't it? Yesterday it was cool. It was, you know what I mean? The sun was out like right now. You know what I mean? I was just doing some sun gazing, but the sun was out. The energy was feeling like I ain't on planet Earth. I don't even know if it's the planet dealing with its own stresses, you know what I'm saying? So it's going through its own weird flux passes that we're not used to really seeing, or these mofos is really dealing with some shit that they shouldn't be touching. You know what I mean? They're really, constructing the elements in such a way that's, causing a little bit of dysfunction within the natural atmospheric expression of planet Earth. But nevertheless, y'all, I just wanted to talk about this aspect of sources. You know what I'm saying? Sorcery. Okay, we gotta start tapping back into our energy, man. For real, for real. I'm gonna say that every video. I'm gonna tap into that aspect every time I can to really get people indulged. Right? I really want to get people, you know what I'm saying, more and groomed to that aspect, to understanding the importance of getting back in tune with self. You feel what I'm saying? Know that you are your alpha omega. You are the domain, the source, the prime meridian point of energetic force moving throughout your world, your universe. We put too many of an external president on our ability to strive and tap back into our splendor. People always talking about, oh, I want resources. We need resources as a people. We are the greatest source. Why do you need a resource? Why do you have to rearrange or re-establish something that has already been used and used for fabricated means and measurements in the first place? You talking about all these false implementations of instrument that has been utilized to dilute the potency, to recessively contain the source code of a people through truth and transparency, generally uplifting the people by way of the natural form of planet Earth, because we are form fit, we are interwoven, we are cohesively niched to what is taking place in the universe, which is all quote unquote free. Now our space and understanding and understanding of expenses, as the as without to so within dynamic that is constantly taking place within the universe, doesn't take place in such a physical demeanor that we're advocating and growing accustomed to. When you say nothing in life is free, okay, I understand that. I definitely get what you mean by that. I know what your soul is saying by saying that. However, when you're saying it from the fragment of the paradigm that we're being shifted into, that we're being stagnant within, which is to think we have to have physical possession to have something of value to share to something else, to be an exchange point, this is where we become diluted in our thinking. We come out of that black prototype, that black print, that dynamic to understand the universe. There's many forms of compensation of putting out something to get something back in return. You put out a smile, you get one back in return. You put out a smile, you may get something of physical value in return, because the value is the cognitive function of the perceptive lens taking in that which is being shared, that which is being exchanged. A lot of this shit is false, man. A lot of these things that's taking place nowadays is fraudulent. I don't just mean fraudulent in government and conspiracy, which is not conspiracy, because we all bear witness to the shit taking place. We bear witness to the shits. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't with the shits. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see what's going on out here. Disease is being big business. Poverty is big business. Think about it. Think about it. There's more bread to be made in things being dishonest or not in the right alignment with your nature and your ability to truly feel good on planet Earth. Everything is aligned with that as it relates to business and money. We could be in this world but not of the world. We tap into these experiences and we proliferate them to the means and the extremes that we need to utilize them in, based on the fact that we're behind enemy lines, that we're not into our own vice of space of mind. We don't necessarily have to have a physical situation automatically in our favor to really start making a change on planet Earth. And this is what people are not really grasping through their mindset. It's all a mindset. You feed into the currency. When you think about currents, right? Currency money is nothing but an exchange of electricity, right? But an electrical current has to be stimulated by way of an energetic force. It needs a pulsation. It needs a vibratory factor, okay? An indicator, a reference point to generate the type of amp that it needs to give off the electricity, to give off the currency. You give money value. You give whatever you give value. It's all based on your perceptive lens and what you see to being valuable. Some people values are their sneakers. Some people values is the paper money. Some people's values is the cars. Some people values the food. Some people values the air. Some people values the trees. Some people values the universe, the sunlight, life, experience is value. It's worth more than money. There's rich, wealthy people on the planet Earth. Wealthy, right? They rich, but are they wealthy? Do they have the wealth within? Exfoliating from their pores. Do you feel their happiness? A lot of people make the synonymous inkling as well to people who are broke being broken. Just because you broke doesn't mean that you're broken, essentially. Because your value points, your essence doesn't mean to the same extremes of another man or woman. Does that mean that you're inadvertently broke? You're broken because you're broke on a space of what we have given value to in this space of currency and monetary value. Now, this is no poor righteousness rant. Trust me, y'all see I'm about value. I exude nothing but that. And I say that unapologetically. I know my value and I know my essence that I give off. I'm not the richest man in the world, though. I don't have billions, millions. I don't even got thousands. But I got the value. You know how many people I come across, rich and poor? People who got bread to spend and people who don't. People who have seen things and have been in places of a lot more high esteem that will come around my presence and they will think I'm of some type of royalty. Like, they will really feel like, and royal in the presence of even social status. You know what I mean? Even the universe has put things into alignment to where I could drive a seemingly nicer car. But we still have the struggles when we give idea to it, when we give life to that idea of struggle being in our respective reality. Maybe bills and struggling with rent and, being evicted, moving home to home. If y'all only knew my story, man. But I don't exude it. I don't give it precedence. I don't naively disregard it because it made me who I am. It's the test that creates a testimony. However, the value is not in the physical realm. Like I said, there are people who come to me on some shit like, unless I tell them my story and I let them know what has really taken place within my life, you see what I'm saying? They be like, damn. It's almost a humbling point for themselves to not even judge that book by its cover, because just what I give off through my energy and my substance, you would think I'm swimming in royalties. But I am royal to the blood, but it's a different value system. We want evolution or revolution. We want to evolve and elevate, but we're not resonating. You don't want to resonate, so you ain't going to elevate. You want revolution, but you don't want to release yourself and relinquish yourself of the contraptment and the systematic structure that has been set in place to keep you in the space that you're in. utilizing the things that are here to be utilized is one thing, but not stepping in the proper dynamic of what is your truest strength, that's where I see the dysfunction taking place. Where a man striving for money could call a broke man broken based on the value system of what has physically, through false fiat fabrication, been put in place to replace the source of our energetic flow in value systems and what we value about life, which is money, currency, the material things. So if a man doesn't have a nice car, he must be miserable. If a man doesn't have a whole lot of money in the bank, that was built off a false institutionalized form of capitalizing capitalistic suppression. But nevertheless, if he doesn't have money in this bank that we could still, to our convenience, we could admire this thing, right? But nevertheless, if he doesn't have thousands of dollars and billions of dollars in the bank, he must be miserable. Oh, he doesn't have the newer, flashier things. He must be miserable. How do you know? A man is broken by way of his happiness. Do you see bliss in the world? Do you see potential? Are you a visionary? Are you imaginative into the world and the experiences that you're having? Are you living through a space of serendipity to you where you're seeing life to its unfoldment and to its bliss, its pleasurements? Just because you're broke doesn't mean you're broken. You're broken when the mind is lost. Because when the mind is lost and the heart stops having a reason to perpetuate an energetic field to influence another thing, everything loses its purpose and its reasoning, which makes you inadvertently feel like you're losing your purpose and your meaning in planet Earth. So know where your value is at. The value is you. You are the source, not the resource. You're not a repackaged version of the source. You are the source. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the source. So what are you talking about? You need resources. You are the source to everything else that is fueled in this economy, in this system. And I don't just mean this metaphysically or spiritually. Like, literally, you could tangibly put what I'm saying to physical task in this world that you're giving so much credence and acceptance into. You are the source to it all. Health is big business because you don't care to eat properly, because you listen to good health tips and health recommendations. You haven't watched all the recipes that I've put up. You haven't taken heedance to all the posts that I've put on social media about health and nutrition. You haven't gotten in contact with me and even the people who I link you to, like a Dr. Sabi and other beautiful minds who are out here doing the work on health and have remedy or just wealth of information, another value. We teaching you how to fish out here. At least I am. Some people would actually call themselves guru and do all these other things just to get a monetary gain because they're stuck in that physical realm. But we got to understand where our value system is really at. You feel what I'm saying? We got to understand where our systems is at. And it's just that simple.